Hello and welcome to web designing program using HTML on Siba Learning Zone. In this lesson, we are going to look at how to use an image as a link on a web page. How to use an image as a link on a web page. Now for today's lesson, image as a link. Let's take a look at this web page. You could see that we have our old web page, but this time an image has been created as a link. And for all we know that whenever an image or a text is a link, when you place your cursor on that, then it turns into a little hand. Looking at our source code, we could see the opening and closing tag of around here, and then the image that we want to make as a link, its code is put in between the opening tag and then the closing tag. In detailed explanation of making an image as a link is being summarized here, and this happens to be the source code of the web page that we just built, this very web page. As you can see, we've created an image as a link down here, which leads us to a specific address link. Now, in details, you can see that we have the tag. When we want to create a link, we use the tag, and has two pairs. We have the opening tag and we have the closing tag. And like I said, closing tags always begin with a forward slash. In between the opening tag and then the closing tag is the image that is used as a link. And talking of images, the image tag happens to be a self-closing tag, meaning it doesn't have an opening and a closing tag. It's just a self-closing tag. Within the opening tag, the attribute href specifies or leads us to the specific address with which we want our image to be linked to. And in this lesson, the address happens to be tutorialspoint.com. The image tag also have an attribute, that is the src, and with the src attribute, it specifies the name or the image you want to use, the name of that image. And here the image that we use is called the web design 4.jpg. No, images can be in GIF, some can be in PNG. Here we have JPEG. And within the image, we also have another attribute we call style, not forgetting to give a space between a tag and then an attribute. Within the style specifies the size of the image. It specifies the size of the image. And here we have the width and then the height of the image that we are using as a link. And here I use 100 pixels for the width and then 80 pixels for the height. And I didn't give any borderline to the image, and I set that to 0. After that, you close your tag. So in summary, let's look at how to use an image as a link, beginning with your link tag, that's the A tag. Then within your A, that's the opening, and then the closing A tag, we have the image tag, which is self-closing. And within image tags, we have the attribute src and then the style attribute. The src attribute specifies the image which you want to use, or in other words, the name of that particular image to be used as a link. The style attribute gives the size of the image on the web page, and here I gave the width as 100 pixels, height 80 pixels, and since there isn't any border around the image, I gave 0. Lastly, for your exercise for today, you are to design a web page same as the web page in this video lesson in your worksheet, including a link. In other sense, you are going to prepare the same web page as shown on this browser. Thank you.